These my daddies make it hurt.
What is up, my people? Welcome back to another video. We are doing a recap of today's trades. Just looking at the price action here, what a thing of beauty. If you watched our charting session from earlier this week, you will see that we called exactly this action playing out. To the tick, I called out this red line that the market this week would come right down here. I called it out in the trading session. I'll link the video in this video, but that was Sunday night, and we did our trading session and we saw exactly what price did, and we were exactly right. And yeah, we were able to capitalize on the movements of today. Unfortunately, because of my schedule, I missed all of this big move over here. Let me highlight all of this. Unfortunately, I missed this because I wasn't even at my computer. But we came in and we saw price approaching this area. My first trade was right in this area. So let's zoom in a little bit. Let's go down to the 5-minute. Okay, so on the 5-minute time frame, we met price right over here. Price was actually finishing taking out this low at 411 and then came up into this 5-minute fair value gap. I saw that it peaked out and created these highs right here. Let me write that out, draw this out for us. So that price created these highs. So from there, I zoomed in into the 1-minute. All right, and on the 1-minute, I took an entry right here in this fair value gap. This was the perfect entry. I was so happy about this entry. Everything was pretty smooth. I saw price come down here. It created a little order block over here, added some in here, and then we just went plummeting down right here. Unfortunately, I did not get to cash in all over here, and this is something for me to journal because I saw price come down here, and you know, I even drew out a little fair value gap that price went into, and I figured like, hey, you know, we're probably just going to retrace and we're not going to come back all the way up here, which was right. We didn't come back all the way up here, but I put my target, my stop, I trailed my stop all the way to right here. And yeah, I was taken out of the move. And yeah, that kind of sucked because I was up a lot of ticks, lots of points, and this was, yeah, it never feels good knowing that you could have took profit down here and you didn't. But it's okay. I saw that happen, and then I decided to immediately get back in. This is my second trade. I entered right here, and then I allowed price to come up here, entered again, and then I took it all the way down to around this area. I wish I could have held for longer, but I didn't. And that would be our second trade, but we took profits there as well, and that was pretty nice as well. So not too bad, and that was pretty good. I tried to do another trade right here to the short side. I entered in this fair value gap, and unfortunately price took me out. It went up to these highs and I was stopped out, so that was an hell of a trade. But I was able to see that price was resting on this fair value gap. I think I drew out another zone, but can't really make out where that was. I drew out another zone because I was able to see that price rested up here, but then was not really coming up to these highs. So I took a short, and we took a short up to this area. I wish I stayed into the trade a little bit longer, but unfortunately I did not. But we still capitalized on those gains. Nice little push right here. Nice little push. If I would have stayed in though, just look at that. Could you look at that? Just Oh man, that would have been really nice. Would have been a really nice trade. So I'm gonna journal that and try and learn from that experience so that I can develop my trading skills a little bit more, a lot more actually, because wow, this would have been a nice trade. But I tried not to think of what could have been, because in the market there's always those what could have beens, and that is what makes you not trade at your best potential. You end up thinking, oh, if I just hold this longer, I can, I can end up taking a lot more profits, which can be true sometimes, but that might end up biting you in the butt if that's not the way you are used to trading, and you're just doing that just because you feel like you just want to be stubborn. It has to make sense. It has to go with the overall bias, and this would have gone with the overall bias. So that's something I should have kept in mind. I shouldn't have just saw this little push up here and decided to take my profits. I think I took my profits right here at the top of it. I think it was just because of what happened earlier, me seeing these profits all the way down here and then me not taking anything. I think me seeing that was just like, sometimes that happens in the middle of the day, and it really can mess with your psyche, with your mindset. Basically, I was gonna say psyche, but I don't want to get too furu on you guys, but it can really get to your mindset, and that can kind of mess up with the way it can kind of screw with the way that you trade for the rest of the day. Typically, it's not a bad idea after something like that happens to maybe take a break from the charts. Ideally you want to reset, because that was a tough L. You saw that happen, and now you're going to start thinking, oh, I'm going to make it back. I'm going to do what I can to make back those profits that I lost. I'm going to work overtime. I'm going to, increase my size, stuff like that. It's happened to me a lot. And the best thing I found is really just stepping away, and that ends up helping and doing wonders for your trading. So that's something I ended up doing after that trade. I think my next trade was over here. Yes, it was right over here. I watched price take out these lows and then come all the way up here. And so I looked at that as an opportunity, because what I saw over here was that price was coming back into this fair value gap. And in fact, it did come up into this, and then it tried to close above, but it wasn't closing above. This was a really risky entry, but what I liked about it was the fact that we were in this fair value gap, of course, but my risk ratio, my risk reward was not crazy. I just put my stop right at the top of this wick right here. Let me draw that out, and I entered in this fair value gap. So I took price all the way down here. I took it to right after this candle closed. I saw that the candlestick opened up high, so I went in. I took my profits right over here. So that was a nice trade, like nice little move. I'm glad I didn't stay too long into that, because more than likely, as we were coming up right here, probably would have been wicked out, because I like to trail my stops, so I could have been wicked out right over here. And this was a lot of choppy price action right here. And then if I stayed too long aiming for these lows, look at how that would have played out. I would have been screwed for sure. Price would have came down here and then just pushed with all the momentum back up here and took me out of the trade completely. So I was okay with taking my profits right there, and then in this little area we're just getting chunks of the moves. We don't go for everything completely. And my last trade was right over here. I watched this price went and took out all these highs over here. We took out this range high that we created, and then we went into this fair value gap up here. This, I believe, was the 4-hour fair value gap. Might have been the 1-hour fair value gap, but I saw that price pushed up in here, and we were also in a 1-minute fair value gap as well. As you see all of that playing out, lots of confluence right here. So I entered inside of this fair value gap, and I took price all the way to this area right here. I didn't see a whole lot of movement because I saw price come down here. It rejected, right? It showed a lot of strength once it came down to this order block right here. There's a nice little order block right here. So I saw price show a lot of rejection right here. So at that point I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna get out of this. And so I got out of that. So those are my trades for today. I think we were 4 out of 5, and yeah, we made about like $8,000 on the day. So that was pretty great. Not money to laugh at or anything. Of course, I would have loved to have gotten in on this trade, but I had already stepped away. I was like, I think I've had enough of trading today. And the longer you trade, the more trades that you take, the less likely you are to be making sound decisions. That's what I've observed, at least for my trading. 5 trades is a lot of trades. It is too many trades. Ideally, I'd like to just take 3 trades on a good day, but yeah, it all began with this movement right here. After I got into this trade right here, and I took price all the way down here, and then I watched as it came back up and took me out of my trade. Yeah, after that I was like, I need to get back some of this money, which is great, right? But is also not the best discipline, and we're not building great habits, and mentality like that kind of gets you wrecked in the long run. But yeah, that's the recap for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope that made sense to you. Hope you're soaking in some of these things, understanding how to use order blocks, fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps as well. I hope it's really starting to sink in for you guys. Yeah, and I hope you guys got a lot of value out of this. And with that, we'll end the trading recap and see you guys in the next one.